CSUN had its Judicial Council hearing last night regarding the 800 invalid votes. Our reporter was there to find out whether the primary election will be deemed invalid.
Also, Nascar came to Las Vegas for the second time. We have all this and more. You're watching Studio G.
Good afternoon, Rebels, and welcome to Studio G. I'm Jamie Poole.
And I'm Jessica Vargas.
800 votes have come into question for this year's CSUN primary election on campus. In SU Room 313D, the special hearing was given by the CSUN Judicial Council as to why the 800 votes for the executive board were invalid and why the election altogether has been called into question.
The votes that were coming in large groups and were coming in all minutes and seconds after each other were for the same ticket. All highlight the inescapable conclusion that this election must be invalidated. The CSUN Constitution states that CSUN members shall have the right to vote in elections, which is the Bill of Rights, Section 5.
Chief Justice Hadrian Saperstein and the rest of the council then heard the witnesses of the invalidated votes who gave their testimony.
Well, I attempted to vote, was it Wednesday night, through the email. That was a very convenient way for me to do it. As I clicked on the link through my Rebel Mail, it then opened a page for me to type in my NCID number. I proceeded to do that, and immediately afterwards it said 100% complete. Thank you for completing the survey, in which I never got to complete any survey or cast a ballot.
President Carlos Fernandez released a statement at 11 this morning stating that the primary election must be invalidated. The new executive board primary elections will take place on Wednesday, March 22nd and Thursday, March 23rd. The polls will open at 9 a.m. on Wednesday and close at 5 p.m. on Thursday and 5:30 p.m. for online voting.
This week, International Council held an event inviting students to enjoy free coffee and donuts. They also learned about voguing. Anna Barocha has the story.
International Council teamed up with Spectrum to host this month's coffee hour. The event focused on voguing, where students learned how to vogue and learned about the terminology.
Had a lot of success with our dance lesson with the African Students Association in February, so we decided let's reach out to Spectrum, see if we want to do something with them, and it was kind of their idea, like, why don't we do something on Vogue or Vogue dancing, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
The tutorial was led by Wardell Freeman and Alex Fuller.
I performed what Vogue is. I kind of gave an idea of what I think that Vogue embodies, and I think basically all I did was show you who I was.
Voguing for me is also a way to connect with my fellow LGBT queer people, especially those of color, and we Vogue together, and it's I see my sibling, that's my friend, that's my sibling, that's someone that I love, like me.
Students were encouraged to participate by learning different moves step by step.
Foot around, so like this, bring it around, hip out.
Eventually, everyone felt confident enough to show off their voguing skills. Voguing is a form of expression that's very significant in the LGBT community, and as you can see, people are very passionate about it. For Studio G, I'm Annabelle Rocha.
Voguing originated in Harlem, New York as an outlet for the oppression that many LGBT people of color faced. Wow.
I think we should vote.
I think we should too.
That looks like so much fun.
If I can dance like that, oh my God, I would definitely do it. But I don't have the flexibility in doing all that stuff. But that's
coming up, we take a look at what's going on around the valley. We'll be right back.
Sunday evening jazz. I mainly play a lot of contemporary jazz music from the 1960s up until about 2012, 2013. When I go on, just explain who it was, the name of the song, the name of the artist, maybe the name of the album, their career. I just hope that everybody enjoys it and appreciate it for the kind of music it is and how great it is. My name is Sam, and I host Sunday Evening Jazz on the rebelhd2.com.
Boy Miles Low.
It's your girl, Scribe Cash.
My name's Fabian Stefan.
Perpetual Player One.
And I'm your host, Brandy the Prince Madison.
My name is Haley Rogers.
From the Miles Low Midweek Show.
Your Scribe Cash radio show.
You can listen to Pixel Jam.
Press start to play.
And this is The Takeover.
Rock on Rebel.
On KUNV HD2.
From the rebelhd2.com.
Welcome back to Studio G. Let's take a look at some of the biggest headlines in the Valley. 3 people were shot after a robbery home invasion in the Northwest Valley late Monday night. 1 man was killed and another was wounded after biting a couple with duct tape. And about 10:30 p.m., according to Metropolitan Police Department Lieutenant Dan McGrath, when people arrived at the scene, they found a man's body lying in a rear entryway to the backyard. The homeowner had escaped from being bound and was able to retrieve a firearm and shoot the suspect multiple times. According to McGrath, the woman was found hiding in the closet and had been shot in the arm. She was taken to the University Medical Center. This is the 36th homicide investigated in Clark County and the 32nd investigated by Metro this year.
The trial against mixed martial arts fighter War Machine has become tense as the mother of Christine McInday gave her testimony. Erin McInday was the prosecutor's final witness in the trial. She spoke about the abuse her daughter suffered, which included physical violence and isolation. War Machine faces 34 counts in connection with the attack on Christine McInday.
A bill was heard on Monday regarding the prohibition of conversation therapy in Nevada. The bill would prohibit mental health professionals from conducting sexual preference or gender identity conversation therapy on children. Major medical groups have denounced the practice, saying that it leads to anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and suicide among LGBT community people. A similar bill was passed in the Senate in 2015 but failed to get out of the Assembly. The committee took no action on the measure, according to the Review Journal.
A new corporate social event venue opened on Monday. Enclave is a $15 million high-tech corporate and social event venue located a mile from McCarran International Airport. The 75,000 square foot venue includes ballrooms, conference rooms, dressing rooms, and a bridal room. The venue has already attracted big-name clients including Facebook and Cisco and has booked about 20 weddings. Enclave hopes to provide a rehearsal space for Las Vegas resident performers in the future.
Vegas PBS is accepting entries for the PBS Kids Writers Contest. Students must be in kindergarten through 5th grade and submit 50 to 500 word original story with at least 5 illustrations. The top 3 winners in each grade level will be honored at the Vegas PBS ceremony.
The Who will be returning to Las Vegas on May 29th. The band will be performing at the Coliseum in Caesars Palace. They have signed on for a Coliseum residency on Monday and will have their first 6 shows in July and August. Tickets range from $76 to $501 and go on sale at noon this Friday. The Who is the first rock band to headline a residency at the Coliseum. Nascar was in town this weekend, bringing in more than 95,000 visitors and $140 million. This is the last year that there will only be one race at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Alyssa Truesdale has more.
NASCAR came to Las Vegas this past weekend with musician John Fogerty as the Grand Marshal introducing the race.
Drivers, start your engine!
The Cobalt 400 took place at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway on Sunday, just days after news became official that a second race will be coming to Las Vegas next year, September 2018. The second race will be along with the one that has been run every March for the last 20 years. Brad Keselowski took the top position in qualifying on Friday afternoon for the Sunday race. He barely beat competitor Martin Truex Jr. to capture his first pole of the season. The race was nothing short of eventful, with several accidents and even a physical fight between drivers. Las Vegas native Kyle Busch, inevitably upset after the accident during the final lap, took matters into his own hands by walking over to the pit of Joey Logano and throwing punches at the driver who spun him out. Neither drivers are expected to face discipline. The weather did not disappoint this weekend, and both fans and drivers are excited that a second race is finally coming to Las Vegas. Brad Keselowski and Martin Truex Jr. battled for the top spot on and off throughout the race. Despite barely losing the pole position and being overshadowed by the preceding fight, Truex Jr. led 152 of the 267 laps and ultimately won the Cobalt 400 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race, putting him 4th overall in points position. They race again this weekend in Phoenix.
With the boost in economy that NASCAR brings to Las Vegas, it's no surprise a second race was added. We look forward to all the new and expanding sporting events coming to Las Vegas in the future.
Now let's take a look at our weather. How's it looking, Timey?
Hi girls, how are you? Well, the weather is beautiful today. I can tell you that right now we are in 73 degrees, the highest in 85 and the lowest 61. But let's take a look at the country. This picture right here, as you can see, part of the northeast of the country is experiencing a storm. Winter storm Stella has been hitting New York and Boston, canceling many flights, and also 11 people have lost their life due to these circumstances and the heavy weather that they are experiencing. So we wish them the best, and let's take a look at the rest of the week here in Vegas. We are having awesome weather, very beautiful, partly cloudy and sunny. The highest right now here today it's 85, the lowest 61, but Sunday we will be hitting the 90s. Not that bad, but it will be 91, so get ready. And if you haven't done so, go outside, do many activities because the weather it's beautiful. Let's take a look at the rest of the city here. We are experiencing beautiful weather, like I said, 70s around the whole county. Henderson, Green Valley, Southern Highland being 79, and the lowest here in Las Vegas, 73. But let's take a look at here at UNLV. Beautiful right now. We have, this way, 76 degrees, winds, the wind speed 2 miles per hour, humidity 15%. But tonight we will be in the 62, wind speed 11 and humidity 11% as well. Let's take a look at the rest of the country. Like I said to you guys, here right now, a lot of snow. Boston, New York, and even Washington will be experiencing this a little bit. But in the west side, we will be very sunny right now. Los Angeles 81. And here, Salt Lake City 76, and here in Las Vegas, like I said, we will be in the 80s, so it will be beautiful. When we come back, we sit down with a local veteran who took a stand at the Standing Rock. We'll be right back.
Get to do an internship, you have to do an internship. It's one of the requirements for a journalism major. You have to do an internship before you can graduate.
Definitely having an internship as a requirement really helps push yourself out there and to just remind you that your graduation is coming up soon. You're going to have to need some work experience in your career. So it's really good to put yourself out there early on, and they tend to help students a lot more. So when you do a student internship, it really helps out a lot.
This is a nutrition center. Anyone from the Las Vegas community is welcome. We can get more people into the nutrition center, get them more educated, then they can learn what ways to prevent chronic diseases and to become healthier individuals. All classes are held in BHS building, Bigelow Health Sciences, room 212, and the times vary, but you could always check them at the UNLV calendar or UNLV Today, and all the classes, times, and descriptions are available there.
Welcome back, Rebels. I'm Melissa Truesdale. A Standing Rock rally was held in Las Vegas Friday night to show solidarity with the march held in Washington, D.C. Studio G reporter Ashley Renan has the story.
Many Las Vegans are gathered here today in downtown Las Vegas to show their support for the Standing Rock protests happening all over the country. The Las Vegas Native community held a rally Friday night in support of the thousands of protesters in Washington, D.C., who marched all the way to the White House in opposition of the Dakota Access Pipeline at Standing Rock. One by one, supporters shared messages of hope, encouragement, and for some, what their experiences were like at Standing Rock in North Dakota.
Wherever you come over the crest of the hill, you see down to the bridge, and it looked like a set of a Vietnam War movie.
I was there for 8 days in November.
But I was also there on November 20th, and that was the night when the most brutality was used that night, with the law enforcement on us. Water, sub-freezing temperatures, tear gas, flashbang grenades, rubber bullets. I'm a water protector. I'm here to protect the water. I want you to have clean water. I want clean water, and I want everyone to have it for forever.
One attendee couldn't make the trek, but he still had a message to share for those who were listening.
You have to not let, ignorance and evil win. Ultimately good has to always triumph evil. So I think, it's the thing with, with water, it goes more than just water. It's about respect and tolerance and compassion.
I believe that people have a right to clean water, right now, and I don't believe this pipeline is for anyone's best interest. If I can do anything to stop it, I will, and I want to make my voice heard.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Ashley Renan.
It was reported shortly after the rally that the mural was defaced. Police are unsure as to who the culprit is. Speaking of Standing Rock, today we have Matthew DeFalco, a UNLV alumnus and veteran who participated in the DAPL protest in 2016. He is currently running for Henderson City Council. Thank you for joining us today, Matthew.
Of course.
All right, so can we just talk about the Dakota Access Pipeline? What brought you out there? How long were you out there for?
I joined with thousands of other veterans from all over the country in the beginning of December, and I went there to fight for people who needed help, and I went there to fight for environmental justice. The pipeline was dangerous. It's dangerous. It's going to contaminate the Missouri River, which gives water to, a lot of people. And there's a people who were being discriminated against. That pipeline was supposed to go through Bismarck. And Bismarck, for people who don't know, is a major city of privilege, of money and power and influence. And they changed it to go through the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation. And the reason why is because they think that they can push them to the side and they can bully them like they've been bullying them for generations. So we went up there to defend them, to help them, and to stand in the way. Because, the people who were hurting them, they were shooting bullets at them, they were shooting beanbags at them, they were tasing them, they were beating them up, they were arresting them. That's not leadership to me, that's bullying. So we went up there to help them out, and it was an honor and a privilege, and it was really an incredible experience. It was a very spiritual place, and I was really proud to be there when President Obama, through the Army Corps of Engineers, denied the permit. It was an incredible thing to be able to help the people.
And so was it a voluntary process going up there, or did they kind of reach out to you, part of the Army?
No, it was something that I have been following for a long time, and for veterans, it was all about selfless service. It was about helping people no matter the risk to themselves and fighting for what they believe in. That's what it was for me, and that's what it was for all of the other people that were there to join the fight. And so, the word was put out, and they actually had to cap a number pretty quickly because there was so much interest from people. But even beyond that, people just were showing up from all over the country. And it was really just an amazing thing to be with a group of veterans who were there to fight for what they believed in.
And how many veterans out of Nevada went with you, do you know?
With me, I just drove up with a friend of mine who was a Navy veteran, and we drove 20 hours on the way there and about 25 on the way back. But there was a lot of people from Las Vegas that we saw up there, and people from all over the country.
And can you kind of describe what the reaction from the Sioux Indians were, just to have people from the Army, people from all over the country to help support them? What was their reaction? What kind of feelings did they display to you guys?
We weren't sure what to expect when we got there. But when we got there, the first thing they said to us was "Welcome home," which was really powerful. They were really happy that we were there to help them, and we did whatever that they needed us to do. We might have ideas about how we wanted to help, but when you get there, we had to listen to what they needed, because it wasn't about bringing in our ideas, it was about helping the people who were there. And so they told us what they needed, and we did everything from security to cooking to direct action protests to a number of different things.
And so just kind of going off of that, having them tell you exactly what you need, I'm sure you're kind of used to being in the Army, just supplying people with what they need. I mean, what exactly did you bring, and how did you know that you were okay to leave them there afterwards?
Well, we had a truck full of materials, and so that we came fully ready to be sustainable for ourselves, and so that we weren't taking resources from them, but they had a ton of resources, to be honest with you. There was people that were sending in food and materials and tents. We stayed in a big, giant Army tent. There was probably about 60 of us. And it was a little bit hairy because, you know, we had fire pits in the tent because there was a blizzard outside and the wind blowing around. It was kind of chaotic. But, you know, we all have experiences that put us in difficult environments before. And so we stuck it out, and it was all worth it.
And so were you actually camping out at the Dakota Access Pipeline? You were like sitting in the Army tents?
There was probably, you know, 10, 12,000 people there. And it was a big camp. Everybody had tents, teepees, vehicles, whatever they brought with them. And we were in Army tents. And, you know, we cooked our own food. And in the mornings, they'd have morning prayers. And you know, they were just there to really help fight for and stick up for themselves.
And do you think you accomplished what you set out to go do when you went out there?
Absolutely. Being there when President Obama denied the permit was one of the best moments of my life. It was really impactful. There was singing and dancing, and there was fireworks, and it was just a really fantastic celebration. You know, obviously with the federal government and the national politics the way that they are, you know, it's a difficult thing right now. But that was a victory for us and for them. And it was definitely what we were hoping for.
And how do you think, I mean, without getting too much into politics, we know that Trump's actually trying to pursue the Dakota Access Pipeline. How does that feel? I mean, do you feel like you need to go back out there and fight again, or what are you willing to do from now?
I'm willing to do whatever the tribal leaders ask us to do. And I think that a lot of our veterans who went there are ready to go back, and they want to go back, but it's not up to us. It's about what the tribal leaders say they want us to do. And they asked us to close up camp and that the fight is going to be in the courts. So you got to trust that that's what the plan is. And if they need us, I'll be driving back up.
And then the experience that you got from out there, what did you bring back home from that?
You know, I brought a lot back home. It was really kind of a life-changing experience for me. When people stick together and stick up for themselves, you can really accomplish a lot. And you have to stick up for diversity and stick up for vulnerable people, and people have the power in the end.
All right, and now we know that you're running for Henderson City Council, so I mean, it sounds like you're very powerful, you're very moved. Are you going to kind of take those actions and those kind of perseverance feelings that you had while you were there and kind of put that into the council while you're out here?
Yeah, I mean, it's all related to me because, you know, I was inspired by what we did at Standing Rock, and I was inspired by seeing people hitting the streets in the last few months to stick up for what they believe in and to oppose some of the things that are happening in the political level. And I feel that it's more important now than ever before to run for office, and so that's why I'm doing that. I think that young people need a voice on the City Council, and all the things that we fight for and we believe in, it starts at the local level. So I'm going to go out there and work hard and represent young people and represent the whole city and bring new ideas and a fresh face. And I think that's really important and what people are looking for.
That's great. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have, but I wanted to thank you for going out there, and I also want to thank you for your service. After the break, we'll celebrate a gorilla's birthday and put on our dancing shoes. We'll be right back.
As far as Studio G, at first it looks overwhelming, and at first it looks like it's a lot of work, but I'll tell you what, it's the most beneficial class I've had at UNLV to date, without a doubt. You get to not only develop stories and work on your interviewing skills, your editing skills, and your shooting skills from a camera perspective, you get to work on all the equipment that's in the studio. So you're working on audio, you're working on directing, tech directing. You get to produce your own show. You can take a 30-minute newscast and make it your own. And that's really cool about Studio G. Like I said, a lot of it seems overwhelming at first, but it is by far the best class I've taken at UNLV since I've been here.
I think we're feeling like excited about the prospects. We know we're going to drop a lot of time, hopefully break a few records, and I think that the team is ready to go.
I'm pretty excited. We've done very well as a team this year, and I think coming into taper, I think we're going to do really well these next few weeks.
Kindy is a baby gorilla that was born via emergency cesarean section in March of last year. Her mother died the next morning, making her an orphan at the Louisville Zoo. Yesterday, Kindy celebrated her first birthday and it was full of monkey business. After the baby gorilla was orphaned, zookeepers wore furry vests that simulated a gorilla's coat. They also mimicked movements and vocalizations to teach Kindy how to be a gorilla. She has since bonded with another gorilla in the zoo, 34-year-old Quelly, who became her surrogate mother. After being born under very stressful conditions, Kindy quickly became a feature for the zoo. She is known to the keepers and guests for her fun and playful personality.
And bags where she climbs on stuff and she'll jump off or swing off. She laughs, which is hilarious, and she generally has a good time.
Zoo goers are happy to see and hear about something good after the very talked about death of Harambe, a gorilla that was killed in a Cincinnati zoo after a child fell into his habitat in fear that he would hurt the child. Jill Katka had great things to say about Kindy, stating she is healthy, happy, and playful. In addition to her private party on Tuesday, the zoo is also celebrating this Saturday, so some of Kindy's biggest fans can wish her a happy birthday. Well, Kindy looks like a real party animal.
I hope they have some chocolate chip cookies for her. All right, Rebels, put on your dancing shoes and let's get ready to boogie. If you have been wanting to learn how to dance, the Rebel Dance Sports Team is welcoming UNLV student with open arms. Kayleen Talents has the story.
Here at UNLV, there are many organizations, but if you're feeling a little groovy, you should join the Rebel Dance Sports Club.
This organization isn't that old. We're a little over a decade old here, and just the way that we do things now with the Rebel Dance Sport Team, we basically just want everybody to learn how to dance. So what we do is we have open practices for everybody. We do compete. We have been competing since our start.
Samantha Carmer, the president of Rebel Dance Sport, explains the importance of this organization.
Basically, the thing that we try to work on the most is being a team. So having that group of people that you can depend on for when you have your breakdown because of midterms, or when you don't have your breakdown because you forgot you had midterms, or anything like that. It's just more of a camaraderie kind of thing that we think is needed in the college experience.
The Rebel Dance Sport organization is open to all UNLV students, and they always have open rehearsals.
We actually don't really have auditions, or open rehearsals are pretty much every time. So every time we do have a practice, we send out a Remind 101, or on the Facebook page or on our Instagram, shameless plug. And we let everybody know, hey, this is what we're doing. We're practicing this dance. We're going over these steps at this time. So it's really never like you have to be at so many things or do so many things before you can come to the practices. The practices are open to everybody.
A member of the club, Madeline Hanna, has a love for dancing, and she enjoys being able to learn a variety of different dances.
We actually learned a lot of dances very quickly. I want to say that I've been on the team maybe 6 months, and I've done waltz, tango, foxtrot, cha-cha, salsa, merengue. I think I learned maybe about 15 dances so far, and they all kind of come in handy, and you can dance them all to modern songs too.
For Studio G, I'm Kayleen Talents.
The Rebel Dance Sport Club has practices Monday through Thursday in the SRWC building.
Thanks for watching Studio G. Be sure to follow us on social media at UNLV Studio.
I'm Jessica Vargas.
And I'm Jamie Poole. Tune in tomorrow for another episode of Studio G.